Two separate incidents involving PG&E transformers damaged by destructive devices between December and January that led to the identification and arrest of suspect Peter Karasev. We'd like to thank our partnering agencies who assisted with the investigation: the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the National Guard's 95th Civil Support Team, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the San Jose Fire Department's Hazmat Team, Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office, the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office, Santa Clara County EMS, PG&E Corporate Security, San Jose Code Enforcement, and Fire Associates of Santa Clara Valley. And I'd also like to thank very much assistance we got from the community, and I'll speak more to that in a moment. On January 5th, 2023, officers responded to the 6,000 block of Snell Avenue on a report of a damaged PG&E transformer. The PG&E employee stated that around 2 a.m. the transformer had exploded. Damage, they stated, was not consistent with an electrical malfunction. SJPD bomb squad technicians responded to the scene and collected evidence revealing a destructive device had caused the damage. The PG&E employee informed officers that a similar incident had occurred on December 8th, 2022 in the 5,000 block of Thornwood Drive, in which an explosion caused damage to a transformer. Our San Jose PD Assaults Unit subsequently conducted a comprehensive investigation, which involved collection of additional evidence, including surveillance videos. Detectives were able to identify Peter Karasev as the main suspect and obtained a warrant for his arrest. So this is some surveillance video of our suspect arriving at the scene of this is of the Snell bombing, I believe. That's him riding away on his bicycle after igniting the device. And there you see it start to go up in flames. On March 1st, detectives arrested suspect Karasev at his place of employment in Foster City and booked him into Santa Clara County Main Jail. A multi-day investigation at his residence located in the 600 block of Potomac Court was initiated to collect evidence and render the residence safe. Suspect Karasev has a wife and 3 young children who also lived at the residence. All 4 were relocated. Residences immediately adjacent to the house were also evacuated out of precaution. From March 1st to March 4th, our merge unit officers and bomb squad technicians, along with the assistance of outside agencies, conducted a safe and thorough search of suspect Karasev's house on Potomac Court pursuant to a search warrant. Outside agencies assisted with the investigation due to the large quantity of hazardous materials found at the residence. During the investigation, various items were seized, including a homemade liquid explosive, multiple energetic homemade destructive devices, and multiple suspected destructive devices. Other materials for making destructive devices were also found, including pipes, wires, fuses, and various chemicals. In addition, at least 5 firearms were seized from the residence. And here are some photos of some of the items that were seized, and I believe that these will all be made available to you at the conclusion of the press conference. On March 3rd, 9 charges were filed by the District Attorney's Office for suspect Karasev, including possession of a destructive device, possession of materials with the intent to make destructive devices, igniting a destructive device with the intent to injure or intimidate, arson, injuring or interfering with electrical lines, and child endangerment. Our patrol officers, assaults detectives, and special operations personnel demonstrated outstanding investigative skills gained through their rigorous and extensive training. Our bomb technicians demonstrated superior tactical and practical skill sets when identifying and removing explosive materials to ensure the safety of our residents and the surrounding homes. In addition, our crime analysis team, comprised of non-sworn professional staff, provided valuable information that helped identify the suspect. I'd like to commend the men and women of our police department for their vigilance in quickly addressing the immediate threat to public safety and take a dangerous and violent suspect safely into custody. And I'd also at this point like to thank the community. No investigation is successful without assistance from persons in the community and without people being willing to share their surveillance videos with us. We probably wouldn't have made the progress on this case that we did, so that was essential. And with that, I'd like to introduce Mayor Matt Mahan.
Thank you, Assistant Chief. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Matt Mahan, Mayor of San Jose. Very proud to be mayor of a city whose police department does such incredible work despite being the most thinly staffed department in the country. As you've heard today, after what you've heard today, I'm sure you understand why I'm so proud of our department and the investigative work that they've done. You know, if it wasn't for the efforts of our department and our partners, who I'll thank in just a moment, this could be a very dark day. We could be talking about a very serious tragedy with significant harm and potentially loss of life. But thanks to months of surveillance, investigation, research, following up on clues, and good old-fashioned boots-on-the-ground detective work, our department and its partners have averted what likely could have been a much worse or serious tragedy. This one hits pretty close to home. Oak Ridge Mall was mentioned. That's where my wife and I take our little kids sometimes. And so you can just imagine, had our department not done the incredible work they've done, what could have potentially played out here. I want to thank our partners. We've had incredible support from the FBI, DEA, Santa Clara County Bomb Squad, the 95th Civil Support Team of the National Guard, whose support have enabled our department to do their important investigative work in a safe and robust way. You see the work that our department can do just illustrates why I've made police staffing my top priority. As you may know, on Monday I'll be releasing my first budget message. There's real emphasis on investing in the capacity of our department, from staffing to investing in technology, because when our department has capacity, it does a tremendous job of following up on leads, tracking down clues, doing that incredible investigative work, and saving lives. I want to hand it over now to our FBI San Francisco Special Agent in Charge, Robert Tripp, who will share a little bit from the FBI's perspective. And once again, we really appreciate the support of the FBI and the other partner agencies who collaborated on this case. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning. At the request of the San Jose Police Department, the FBI deployed several federal resources at the search site at Potomac Court last week. More than 40 FBI personnel were on the scene each day, including members of our hazardous evidence response team, our special agent bomb technicians, our crisis management team, and our lab technicians, forensic technicians from Quantico. We continue to provide assistance to the San Jose Police Department and to the Santa Clara District Attorney's Office for this ongoing investigation. The safety of the community is our top priority, and all of us at the scene last week took a methodical approach in collecting evidence to ensure that no evidence was overlooked and to ensure the safety of the surrounding neighborhood. I want to commend the San Jose Police Department, the San Jose Police Department for their outstanding detective work in this case. They were able to identify and locate the subject, take him into custody, and to prevent any further attacks. The FBI is grateful for the San Jose Police Department's continuing partnership in keeping the community safe. And I'll now turn things back over to Assistant Chief Joseph.
Before I take any questions, I'd also like to mention that we have Councilmember Arjun Batra here. These two incidents occurred in his council district, and we appreciate his support. Thank you very much, Councilmember. And with that, I will take questions.
Assistant
Yes,
Chief,
sir.
what's the reason behind these bombings?
We don't know that, but this is an ongoing investigation. You know, we're continuing to look at all possibilities. And, you know, if anyone has additional information about this gentleman or these incidents or anything similar, we would encourage you to please call us and let us know.
Did he write some kind of manifesto or any kind of writings at his home that indicate he had a grudge against either a governmental agency or a person connected with any of these locations?
Like I said, at this time, we do not have any evidence about his motive or why he did these things, but it's something, of course, we would continue to investigate.
Did he have a criminal history?
Not certain on his criminal history.
Are you able to talk about other potential targets and what's maybe the common denominator or the common feature between all of these potential targets?
Don't know of, potential future targets that he may or may not have been planning to go after, but obviously these were both PG&E transformer boxes. They're in a relatively close proximity to each other, relatively close proximity to his home, and I don't know if that was out of convenience or some greater, plan in his mind.
Can you talk about why his wife might be ruled out as kind of an accomplice to this, or what she may have known and not reported?
We have no information to indicate any criminal behavior on her part.
Child endangerment charges
Because there were chemicals, drugs, firearms within easy reach of the children, because there were explosives in the home. It's not a safe environment for the children, for anyone.
And just to clarify, so he was not, did not legally own any of the firearms, the guns?
My understanding is none of those firearms were registered to him. However, he was not at that time a prohibited person, so owning a firearm wouldn't have been in and of itself illegal for him.
Were any of them ghost guns?
I don't believe so. Can you want to speak to that? No ghost guns.
What was the potential danger to the neighborhood in terms of the devices that were found inside his home? Not just in terms of if he had actually continued to do something, but what was existing right at that time?
Obviously it's not safe to be making bombs in your home in a residential neighborhood. I'm not an expert in that. With that, let me bring one of the gentlemen up who is Sergeant Doug Gates from our bomb squad. May be able to speak a little bit more to the capabilities of these devices.
My pleasure, sir. First, let me echo the Assistant Chief's thanks for the community. We displaced the residents of Potomac Court for a better part of a week, and during the whole investigation, they were nothing but supportive, so I'll answer that first. As far as the ongoing danger was huge. The amount of potential material that we found within that location, be either cause a fire or cause an actual explosion to the entire community, including the school just across the street, was large.
Do you know how long he had those materials with him?
I do not know. He had a lot of material there, so we don't know how long he actually has been buying it for.
Have the neighbors been complaining about his bomb-making operations prior to these incidents?
We were not aware prior to identifying him as a suspect in these two incidents that he was making bombs or that there was anything in particular going on at that residence.
Did he have some particular expertise in this kind of thing? Was he in the military? What's his background in terms of?
My understanding is he's a highly educated person. I don't know if he has formal training in explosives and bomb making, but he's very educated in a science field.
His gang contacts or anything like that?
Not that we're aware of.
We'd seen some talks that he had mentioned before that he had some family in Russia and Ukraine. Is he a U.S. citizen? Is he?
I'm not sure. That's actually not part of our investigation. We're focusing on crimes that he may have committed that are violating the laws of the state of California or federal laws related to criminal activity.
Was he the owner of the house or was he renting it?
I don't know that answer.
Sorry if you addressed this before, but are you looking for other people? Could he be part of something bigger?
I mean, at this time, we don't specifically have knowledge that other persons were involved. However, as I said, there's probably much we don't know. It is a continuing, ongoing investigation. If anyone wishes to provide information, the phone number for our assaults unit is 408-277-4161.